Hi everybody, my name is Jenna Nation, and welcome back to Warrior Cats Drawing Leaders number 2. So we have just finished Thunderstar, his glory of ginger with dark ginger stripes, a white underbelly, and white giant paws, and a white tail tip. But now we have to draw his other version. So instead of making it like light, we're just gonna make this white. His eyes are gonna be, well, it's like he doesn't have white around his eyes, but in this version he does. He also has a torn ear, but I left the ears the same because, like I said, I don't want to adjust the drawing in any way because it's not mine. So instead, we are going to color this version. So, I hope you guys like it. So we just gotta find the right pelt color, and basically it's gray, but with a little bit of dark in it. So, yeah, so let's see. Ooh. Nope. Ooh. Sorry about that, guys. I was saving the other video. It's not like that. So I want to draw, I'm going to find the color first. I'm not going to cheat. Would you guys say that's accurate? Yeah, it's accurate, except we are going to use that color. And I wish there was a way to save the color, but you can't save it because it's, I don't know why you can't save it. So we are going to go and draw alternative Thunderstar. So he's a storm, basically. He's a storm copy. Actually, let's make sure that storm is exactly like him. So we will come back to you. Oh, actually, I'm curious to see Storm's pelt color. So let's see. Yes, Storm looks exactly like him, except he doesn't have the white muzzle, white pelt. And I feel like alternative Storm is beautiful. I feel like alternative Thunderstar is beautiful, but I do, like I said, like his other orange fiery pelt. So I will go over here. And we will begin the coloring of alternative Thunderstar. Now, Thunderstar is, let's make a story for alternative Thunderstar. So, being born with a dark gray pelt, white underbelly, and a white under the eyes, he shares a resemblance to his mother, Storm. The Storm ends up dying along with his other siblings due to a collapse. When, sorry, I'm having a brain fart. When Greywing sees him in shock and dismay, he takes him to Clear Sky. Clear Sky sees this and he neglects him, saying that's not his kid and he wants nothing to do with him. So instead, Lightning, Tail, and I feel like that's her name. Sorry for any mistakes. Lightning, Tail, and Clear Sky. Lightning, Tail, and Greywing adopt him as his own son, and since he looks kind of like Greywing, he says that his father is him for now as a kid. But when he finds out that Greywing didn't tell the truth, he gets angry and seeks his own father. Father being Clear Sky. When he sees his father is overjoyed, likes him, but then they get in a fight later saying that you're cruel and you wanted me to be cruel, but I'll never be like you. So with that, he became, well, Thunderstar. He led the clan with dignity and respect, but looking at his older version with a smile. I wonder if I should draw his mate instead of his alternative self. I kind of like the difference, so I won't do that. Anyway, there I go again. Saying anyway. If you haven't watched my other video, you'll know that I said I shouldn't say so or anyway or But like, I mean, I shouldn't really worry too much about it because then I'll like punch myself in the gut if I hear me say it again. I'm going to be a bit silent for a minute to make sure I get his colors correct. So I know he's kind of a light gray, but I kind of like the slight dark gray. It makes him look like Greyween. So thinking Greyween's his father. So we're going to go check out Greyween. Yes, he almost looks exactly like him, but he's dark gray. So he matches his father well. His adopted father. So he thinks it's him. Because who else would have gotten that striking gray pelt from? He doesn't know his mother's Storm. So when asked why he was named Thunder, is because what he says, because to me, you look like a thundercloud. And he laughs at that and says, wow, that's funny. So this is when he's a kid. So we're going to make up a little cute story of him and Greyween together. So Thunder, being the adventurous kid, one day went out on his own when he was not supposed to. He tracked the forest and looked around. It was amazing to see. I mean, all his stuff. His amber eyes grew big as he stamped through the forest. He saw a small brook and went to go play in it. That's when the worried Greyween found him. At first, Greyween's upset, but when he sees his adopted son playing in the stream, he joins them, splashing, playing together, making sure the current does not come up. He smiles and says, this is fun, we should do this more often. And Greyween agrees. When Greyween says, you know, when I was like you, I used to do this all the time. Amber eyes sparked up, and he said, really, you were my age once? Wow. It's like, Greyween chuckles at this and says, of course I was. How do you think I grow up? He's like, I thought warriors didn't grow up. It's like, so you're going to remain a kid forever and you won't become a warrior. He's like, and then suddenly he says, oh no, meaning I won't become a warrior? It's like, he jokes and says, no, never mind. You'll become a warrior. You have to grow up first. And he's like, I don't want to grow up. Can I be a small warrior? He's like, oh no, you can't be a small warrior. So then Greyween pulls him close and says, you know, like I said, when I was your age, me and my brother would go play out in the stream together, get in a whole lot of trouble. And then, with his amber eyes sparking, he's like, you have a brother? Where is he? Swiftly, his eyes dart from side to side. He looks at his adopted son and says, he leads a clan out in the other distance. He's like, can I go meet my uncle? And he's like, no. We're going to stay here because, you see, your uncle, well, he doesn't really like us too much. And then when he asks why, his poor son's eyes looked devastated. How could anyone hate him? He was beautiful in his sense, but you know, Greyween didn't want to say the truth. So he kept it to himself, thinking the kid would react badly to the sadness swelling in him. So instead of saying that Clearside was his real father, he kept it to himself. The only person that knew was Lightning Tail. Lightning Tail smiled as she came out from the open and said to them, what on earth were you doing out here? When found out about Greyween smiles at his mate and says, oh, we were just playing in the stream, you want to join? She shakes her head no and says, you guys are crazy. And then when he runs up to his mom, he goes, hey. It's like, hey, Lightning Tail, why don't I have any siblings? And first Lightning, I accidentally deleted his. I'm trying to make it look like he has a white. It's like, when Lightning Tail heard this, she looked at the adopted father for like, she looked at his mate, and the mate shook her head, and she shook his head and said, oh, because we just wanted one. StarClan born us a beautiful kid. And that's when he smiled and said, I'm not beautiful. He's like, do you know what beautiful means? And he's like, no. And then his mom explains the word beautiful to him. Greyween laughs and comes up and nudges his son and says, hey, how about this? When you become an apprentice, I will take you out hunting. Sorry, I had to find the right color. His eyes dart up. He is excited and says, yes, 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 over and over again. In the distance, Greywing is spotted, but in the distance, Clear Sky is spotted, but he doesn't say anything. He watches. And silently, he becomes, well, upset. He wants his son back, but at the same time, he looks at them as they're a happy family. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't even smile. He turns his back and leaves. So instead of talking to him about plans to make the clan better, he decided to just leave, leaving his brother with his son, who didn't know he even had another father in the clan nearby. But as Clear Sky walked away, Greywing could see him. Greywing tells his mate to take his son back to the clan, and they go away, and Greywing chases after him, literally begging. Sorry, guys. Forgot my phone was on. Can't tell you how many times that happened. So Greywing rushes up to him and says, "What are you doing here? I thought you said you were going to not come here." He then talks to him, explaining the rules about his clan, and then he's like, "How is my son doing?" It's like, "Your son?" He scoffs and says, "My son. He's doing well." It's like, "He's my son," Clear Sky said aggressively. "You left him," meaning he's my son now. Greywing glared at his brother for his immaturity and said, "What did you really want to come and talk about?" he said finally, knowing that his brother was probably up to something he shouldn't be. Even though Greywing longed for his brother to actually care about him and his son, he said nothing and looked at him. He pretended to hate him, but in reality, he missed his brother. He missed the time. And since Thunder reminded him of his brother, it was a lot more than he would ever imagine. Saying that he didn't want to say, but he really did care about his brother. So did Clear Sky, but not even saying it. They both looked at each other awkwardly, but then he said, "I am here because I just wanted to make sure everything's alright." And then Clear Sky goes, you should have never come back. You know how dangerous it could be. You coming here. You know how your son, my son, is curious about other clan cats," he said, looking at him. He wanted to care for his brother. He wanted to respect his brother. But that respect would soon fade away by anger. And he's like, "Well, maybe you should keep your son in the clan," he said, actually kind of worried for Thunderkit. I know I'm going to call him Thunderkit. He's actually not Thunderkit, but I like him being a warrior in some sense. So he probably didn't have the function of a warrior back then, even though I know you guys are going to yell at me in the comments already. Anyway, there we go. So then Clear Guy goes... Clear Sky goes that he gets angry and angrier by the second his brother keeps talking. He just wanted to go see if everything's alright. He was actually very curious to see if his son grew up or not. How could he be so rude, he thought. But suddenly, Greywing showed some sort of emotion in his eye, looking at his brother for anything at all. He then said, I should get back. I really gotta go. I gotta make sure my clan's okay," he said. "I will catch you later. I will talk to you later, Clear Sky." And as that, they both left. Well, he left. Clear Sky wanted to talk to his brother more, called out his name, but his brother kept trotting away, just walking away from his brother. And that's when Clear Sky started to notice something. He missed his life with his brother. He missed the days where him and Greywing would get in a bunch of trouble. And he definitely missed the days where he could have watched his son grown up to be a strong and powerful warrior. But instead, he watched him go, not exchanging another word with his brother, looking upset and actually kind of distraught. He glares at himself, becoming more and more bitter as days went by. Many cats started to notice, but they didn't want to say anything because they didn't directly know Clear Sky's situation, and they didn't really know what was going on. So when confronted about this by his mate, he glares at her and says nothing as he scoffs and goes out of the clan. Everybody watches him leave, and then his mate, worried, just watches him go, because she knew it would be hopeless if she tried to talk to him. It was always hopeless, but no matter how much she tried, no matter how much she begged him to stay, no matter how much he begged him to to talk to him, he would go anyway. He would leave. Where would he go to? Masking his son, he would secretly go see his son, but not actually talk to him. He looks and sees Greywing and Thunderkit playing together, having fun. Lightning Tail smiles in the distance, and other cats too as well. He just wishes that there is some way he can reconnect with his son without Greywing in the way. He had to come up with a plan fast. Greywing looked at him and said sadly to Thunderkit that, hey, maybe we should go play in the stream again. Suddenly, he darted off, quietly, but some cats heard and thought it was just a squirrel that had been afraid to get eaten by their daily, meal. With Thunderstar escaping silently, he looked back, and hopefully none of the cats saw him, because if they did, they would definitely tell the clan. What would they think of him? They would think of him a traitor if they knew what he did. But instead he kept that to himself, making sure that no cat noticed him as he slipped back in the clan and went to his mate. He was actually in a good mood somehow. And as he began to talk to his mate, he smiled and said, "Do you want to go hunting with me?" He said, and she was overjoyed that Clear Sky was talking to her. Clear Sky and her began to hunt, and they smiled and said, I think we should, have kids. And suddenly that's when the conversation drops. Poor, the mate goes, what? You want to have kids? It's like, yes, because, I just want some. And then finally, his mate sees the pain in his voice, the sadness in his voice, and she agrees. They ended up having kids together, and then that was the last time he ever visited his son again. His son began to grow up into a strong warrior, showing many cats that they should be afraid of him, except for his father and his mother. Supposedly. His mother and father had talked the night before and agreed that maybe it was the best time to now tell Thunder that would be, that they're not actually his parents. He braced himself for the hate and the worry. Wait, what did I do? He got some thick legs. Okay. So he was going to be braced with worry. And he knew with his nervousness did not calm down as thoughts began creeping. What if he doesn't love me anymore? What if he runs away? What if this? What if that? What if? And then suddenly, speaking of the devil, Thunder comes bounding in, going straight to his father and says, "Hey, I caught you this," he said with a smile. And Greywing looks at him and says, "Son, we need to talk." And he's like, "What about?" At first he thinks he's in trouble, but seeing the concerned face of Greywing, he understands that maybe it would be good to talk. So then they go outside the clan in the creek they used to roam, play, and they looked at each other, and suddenly Thunder was the first to speak. "What is it, father?" Greywing closed his eyes and then opened them, looking at his adopted son. "Thunder, you have to promise me you will not get mad. We only did what's best." He's like, of course. How could I ever be mad at you? And then Grey Wings begin to smoke softly. Thunder, I am not your father. And then suddenly, he looked up at his adopted son. His son looked confused instead of angry. And then looked at him again and said, but we have the same pelt. You got that pelt from your mother. Lightning Tail? He said, hopefully. And then he shook his head. No, Storm. Storm was your mother. And then he looked at him, but no anger showed on his face. What happened to my real father? Did he die? He shook his head. No, your real father did not want you. I did not want to leave you alone in the forest without a parent, because I did not want you to grow up to be bitter like your father. Taking this news in startled him. He was upset, to say the least, but at the same time he was grateful that Grey Wing and Lightning Tail had even taken him in. He blinks gratefully at them, saying that after a moment of silence he finally spoke. It's not your fault. If my father didn't want me, fine. But you took me in when you didn't have to. And I'm glad for that. He was surprised to see his son react that way, expecting to be irrational like, well, his father. But instead he was happy and actually went over and some cat hugged his adopted father. He smiled and said, no matter what happens, you'll always be my father. And I don't care that I grew up with such a stubborn father who I didn't think loved me, he said with a smile, even though it's going to get used to, but I think everything will just stay the same. He smiled and said, will I be able to ever meet my real father? He's like, yes, you will. He actually wanted to meet you, visit you, so I'll take you to him tomorrow or tonight. He smiled and said, sure. Does he look like me? No, but he surely have his spirit before, well, he became who he is. He nodded and they went off to go see the father of Thunderstar. So I know this is a different story, and I know you guys probably hate it, but this is now the alternative version of Thunderstar. How do you guys like it? I like it best, so we're done with Thunderstar. So we're going to add the typo. Well, actually, you know what? We're not going to do that, because I like it any other way. So we're going to go over and do the strengths. So I think so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I count that. Yep, so I think he's going to have 6 strengths. And I think his ability, wait, what does that say? I think it says ability. We're going to give him 4. His leadership, all the way to the top, and his intelligence, all the way to the top. Other, well, I think he has more kindness, but we're going to say that this is it. So this has been a great ride. So this is Thunderstar, alternative version, and he has no markings, sadly, so I guess we can't really do anything about that. But tell me which version you like best, if I chose the best version or did I choose the worst version. So if you guys want to see more of whatever cat you like, just give me a comment in this section. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this version of drawing Thunder Clan leaders. So this is the first leader, even though we, drew Blue Star first. I feel I had the thought in mind to draw them. So the next leader will probably be Owl Star. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a beautiful